Becky, this is Spoony Squared, and today I'm filming from a slightly different location. This is my bed. It's where I'm comfortable right now, and it's where Angus is comfortable too. I don't know if you can see him down here. Apologies in advance about the sound. There is some drilling outside. I wanted to talk today about burnout, and this is the thing that has impacted me most with regard to autism. I guess with autism, really it's just the way we are, but there's things about it that make life harder. There's things about it that we kind of have to deal with in the moment. There's things about it that mean we are the way we are, but there's also these kind of outcomes, and a lot of those outcomes I think are a response to kind of how the world works, how life is, and I'm really on a mission to try to shape my own life in a way whereby I can feel better and hopefully help other people feel better along the way, and ultimately construct business, working life such that it doesn't impact us highly based on my own experiences. So I'm definitely at a stage right now where I'm suffering from a bit of burnout, and listening to other people describe what that felt like for them was really helpful for me. So I'll try. I actually feel like it's an intersection of anxiety and depression, but maybe if you don't know what those things feel like or can't articulate those things, then that's not very helpful. The way I feel right now is I want to cry all the time. I have zero confidence. That doesn't mean I don't think I have capabilities. It means that I don't know how to make those capabilities show. I'm just feeling run down. And I should say, this is nowhere near the worst that this has ever got, and it's only been happening for a few days now, whereas in the past it's like literally happened for years. Like, that's not even an exaggeration, when I didn't know what was going on and I wasn't doing anything to help myself, and I was just continuing to push and push and push and try and like push through it. That didn't really help. So it's this feeling of there's so many things out there in the world I want to be doing, I need to be doing. There's expectations, but there's also desires, and that's where I feel really disconnected right now, like disconnected from my own dreams, my own desires, and kind of longing to get back to that, but not having the time and the energy to get back to that. I'm pretty sure I know why I'm feeling like this at the moment. Work has been busy, and since the beginning of the year, so the last 5 months, the amount of time I spend with people has rapidly increased. There's not a day in the week now that goes by where I'm not spending time with people, and there's not a day in my working week where it's not predominantly focused on being in meetings with other people. And this just doesn't work for me, and I know it doesn't work for me, and yet somehow I've allowed it to pile up and get to that point. Kind of like, I've done this before, I will probably continue to do it, I'm sure we all do it, of like, it's okay, things are going all right, just one more meeting, just one more client, just one more. And then suddenly everything's piling on top, and I know that, like, and I guess the reason we say yes to these things is because we know how hard it is to actually even get the work, get the income, you know, in the first place. So when the opportunities come along, and where people actually want you to work with them and want you to be in meetings with them, it's like, wow, yes. And I've kind of not really laid out my own boundaries with those who I probably should be laying out my boundaries with more. But also I think part of that is recognizing like the reality of the jobs that I have is that there's certain things that need to be done, and there's a lot of people stuff related to that. And the trouble with a lot of people stuff is like the balance of that is not doing the things that really do bring me energy. So much less deep work. And deep work is like where I get my energy. So whether that be, you know, it's just that like time when nobody else is interrupting and you get to just get your head into something. And honestly, for me, it doesn't even necessarily matter what that is. It could be like building a slide deck. It could be writing social media, creating social media. It could be, yeah, like creating strategies. It can be so many things, designing stuff, so many things that bring me that sense of kind of calm and planning. And I'm just not getting so very much time to do that stuff as well. So, and that has a compounding effect. So it's like on the people side, it's like great, and I do feel there is value add from what I'm doing. It's just the balance that's out here. So it's like the people stuff, it just gets every single meeting, it's like takes up another spoon. Takes up another spoon. This channel's called Spoony Squared after all, and so I'm like, all my spoons are gone, and I'm in a deficit at the end of each of those days. And we know when you're in a deficit, that's where we start to lead towards burnout. And I'm not doing anything that gives me back spoons, if that's even possible. So, and the same goes like by not having that time to do, oh, sorry, just poked my cat in the ear. By not having the time to do like the planning, the writing, the creating, like that's where I'm losing myself as well. So again, it's not only that stuff relaxes me and gives me energy, it also means that like I'm not actually doing those pieces of work. So I'm not progressing in those areas, and that's added stress. But it's also, yeah, divergence away from who I am and being connected to myself. And I think getting my autism diagnosis, one of the real positives of that was like, I know myself now, I know what to ask for, I know what my boundaries are. But I've let that get out of the, you know, run away with me. So it's time to try to shift things around. The other thing that's going on for me at the moment is I'm going to be competing in America in a couple of weeks' time in gymnastics. So I got selected for the Masters GB team, and we're going to Boston. We're competing in 3 weeks' time, and then I'm staying in America for a couple of weeks after that. And I'm really excited about this, but it also means, and training I'm loving at the moment, I'm really enjoying it, and yet I still have this massive feeling of dread all the time. And it's not getting rid of that. So even though training's kind of going well, and then various things happened that mean, and when your mental health is not good, it's actually dangerous in training. And I've started to notice some physical signs that my mental health is really starting to impact things. So, for example, I drop things more. And as you know, this is called Spoony Squared. I have an autoimmune condition too. So when I go into autistic burnout, not long after that, I tend to then get physical symptoms. So it all like layers on top of each other, and I'm really trying right now to be mindful and step back and to do the things that are going to kind of halt this progression. So yeah, the physical signs are, before I start to get lots of pain, ridiculous fatigue. My fatigue's not that bad at the moment, so that's one good thing. But I start to drop things. I do weird, like, it's just like my coordination's not there. My brain and my hands are not talking to each other, or my body. I was training yesterday, and I honestly think, I don't know what happened, like it felt like I blacked out and I smacked my legs into the bar, and then I was suddenly like super dizzy, and I swear that was like all mental health stuff. Like I don't know what happened, but I was just like, oh no, like I cannot trust my brain and my body to work together anymore. I was very, shaky, and so it's all kind of piling up. So what I'm gonna do, and what I think is useful for people to do, is to look at that schedule again, look at where is that balance, what are the things that are taking spoons away. How many spoons do you have? How many meetings can you do in a day? How can you balance that out? How can you then carve out time and not neglect these things that actually bring you joy, bring you calm, bring you back to yourself? If you don't know what those things are, then I actually think you do know what those things are, but sometimes we have to be a bit honest with ourselves. Maybe sometimes we have to experiment to figure out exactly what they are. So it's reducing the things that suck the energy, adding the things that bring you energy, and actually sometimes that requires you just to take a break. This is when you hit this point, like, I know this is not a new conversation, but mental ill health is ill health. It doesn't mean you're crazy. It doesn't mean like, it's literally like you need a little bit of care in order to recover. And so giving yourself that time is important, or figuring out what's going to help you get there is important. And some of that is likely to include some rest, but certainly likely to include some time away from those things that add to the problems. So that's my plan for this week. I have got some things in the diary that I'm not going to cancel, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe I should be cancelling those things, but I'm also going to make sure that nothing else goes in the gaps where I've actually got some space. And for me, the important thing is to make sure I'm actually doing those things that bring me energy, or like I said, take me to that space of calm. So writing, planning, meditating, all of those things, incredibly important. Taking some rest, and hopefully I'll be back on my way soon. Hopefully before I go to America. I do not want to go to America with a physical flare-up, with mental health challenges, and I've got, just over 2 weeks till I fly, so I've really got to look after myself, and I hope you're looking after yourself too. Let me know if any of this resonates with you in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.